Methods for assessing the effectiveness of e-workers. Performance management as a concept for assessing the effectiveness of e-workers. Qualitative and quantitative methods of measurement and monitoring for assessing the effectiveness of e-workers. Criteria of selection methods for assessing the effectiveness of e-workers. Chosen methods for assessing the effectiveness of e-workers. Behaviorally and core rating scale bars and multi-rater assessment. Multi-rater assessment of e-workers. Performance management includes activities which ensure that goals are consistently being met in an effective and efficient manner. Performance management can focus on the performance of an organization, a department, employee, or even the processes to build a product or service, as well as many other areas. PM is a tool to ensure effective management which results in individuals and teams knowing and understanding what is expected of them, having the skills and ability to deliver this expectation that are supported by the organization in developing the capacity to meet this expectation that are given feedback on their performance and having the opportunity to discuss and contribute to individual and team aims and objectives. Critical assessment of the effectiveness of performance management system of the Department of Communication. Lawler also states that performance management involves managing employee efforts based on measured performance outcomes. Therefore, determining what constitutes good performance and how different aspects of high performance can be measured is critical to the design of an effective performance management process. Planning is central to a good program design and effective measurement. Program logic can be used to assist planning. These include, first, defining or selecting outcomes, second, defining impact, third, identifying output, fourth, identifying resources. Indicators must measure performance, refer to a result, rather than being descriptive. Be well-defined, relevant and informative. Be within the control or influence of management. Be available, timely and cost-effective. Be comparable with a benchmark of previous results over time. Conduct program in line with program logic. Data is gathered to monitor performance. Data consideration include gathering relevant data by set time frames, ensuring the data is accurate, comprehensive and comparable. Reporting must explain the difference between planned performance and actual performance. Provide a picture of overall performance. Provide an unbiased and complete picture. Identify assumptions, gaps and variances. Present information clearly and concisely. Provide explanation and assumption. If performance measurement indicates that the program or strategy is not effective, evaluate it and consider a modification. While in-depth discussion of job analysis procedure is beyond the scope of the report, the mere steps involved in performing a job analysis for the purpose of developing or selecting assessment methods are shown below. Job analysis information is used as a basis for developing assessment. Specifically, assessments are developed to measure the most critical task or KSA resulting from the job analysis for a given job. Some assessments involve work samples that stimulate job tasks and require candidates to demonstrate that they can perform these tasks effectively. Job-oriented or task-based job analysis data is used as a basis for developing these types of assessment because they focus directly on assessing how well job candidates can perform critical work tasks. Other assessment methods focus on measuring KSA that are required to perform job tasks effectively, such as various mental abilities, physical abilities, or personality traits, depending on the job requirement. If one were selecting a manager, for example, it would be important to assess whether candidates could solve complex business problems, be decisive, and communicate effectively. Alternatively, if one were selecting an administrative assistant, KSA, such as the ability to perform work conscientiously and the ability to perform work with speed and accuracy, would be much more important for identifying capable candidates. Worker-oriented or KSA, meaning knowledge, skills, and ability-based job analysis data are used as a basis for developing assessment methods that focus on a job candidate's underlying abilities to perform important work tasks. Figure 1 shows which assessment methods are predominantly task-based and which are predominantly KSA-based. The method discussed here can be used for external or internal selection. Internal selection refers to situations where an organization is hiring or promoting from within, whereas external selection refers to a situation where an organization is hiring from the outside. While some assessment methods are used more commonly for external selection, exemplify a cognitive ability test or personality test, integrity test, there are numerous examples of organizations that have used one or more of the following tools for internal selection: external selection or both. Chosen methods for assessing the effectiveness of e-workers: behaviorally anchored rating scale, BARS. BAR systems are designed to emphasize the behavior traits and the skill needed to successfully perform a job. A typical BARS form has 2 columns. The left column has a rating scale, usually in a stage from very poor to excellent. The right column contains behavioral anchors that are the reflection of those ratings. If the scale were being used, for example, to evaluate a telephone order taker, the statement in one column may read 1, very poor, and the statement in the right column may read occasionally rude or abrupt to customer, or makes frequent mistakes on order form. It's action-oriented with an understanding of the specific performance expectation and standard of excellence. Employees can take steps to improve their performance much more easily, and they are more likely to do so as a result. The process of creating and implementing BARS is time-consuming, difficult, and expensive. Each BARS form must be created from scratch for every position in the company. Sometimes the listed behaviors don't include certain actions required of the employee, so managers can have difficulty assigning a rating. It's high maintenance. Jobs change over time, which means that BARS require a high degree of monitoring and maintenance. It's demanding for managers. In order to successfully conduct BARS evaluation, managers need detailed information regarding the action of their employees. A 360-degree feedback system must also meet basic minimum legal requirements if it is to contribute to employment decision or performance appraisals. These are the basic legal requirements for any valid performance appraisal system. core requirements are that performance metrics are based on job analysis and valid and relevant performance measures are used. A legal performance appraisal system includes a formalized document objective process, job analysis-based standards for performance, job-related performance standards relevant to successful performance, weight for competent dimension of performance, trained appraisers who have substantial opportunities to observe work performance, multiple appraisers if quality is required, standardized control measures for appraisals. Multi-rater assessment are also called 360-degree assessment. The employee, supervisor, co-workers, subordinates, and in some cases, customers are asked to complete detailed questionnaires on the employee. The employee completes the same questionnaire. The results are tabulated, and the employee then compares his or her assessment with the other result. The first major component of a multi-rater feedback system is an assessment instrument that collects ratings on behavioral items from multiple observers. For managers, raters typically include direct reports, peers, and upper management. The manager also conducts a self-assessment. The assessment instrument requires raters to evaluate observable behaviors that tap into important competencies. The second major component is a feedback process that summarizes the input from different raters and helps the rater interpret and act upon the feedback.